hey, this is Jonathan. I just wanted to film this really short case study video for you to show you the type of things that we're doing for this client that we help run their advertising for. And so that if you're running any type of business, right, and you acquire customers online, I want to show and like share with you everything I know about online marketing and how you can kind of replicate the same results that we did for this client, right? Because it's all about systems, it's all about structure, team, right? Doing proper ads properly and like doing it profitably as well. So knowing your metrics and knowing your numbers, very, very important stuff. Okay, so let me just get right into it. First, show you exactly the type of results that we're going for, and as well as how you can replicate it and the methods and strategies to be very, very transparent with you as well. Okay, so right here, like I'm just going to refresh it one time just so that you can see that there's nothing that I'm hiding or anything. Okay, and you know that the numbers are real as well. Okay, so it's refreshing right now, and let me just change the date. Okay, so these are live sales, by the way, so it's just increasing all the time. Okay, so for example, if I come from April 28 all the way to like May 28, right, we did a $800,000 month right here, and if you can see, right, we scale up to around what $39,000 per day, but then afterwards it dipped as well. So I'm gonna kind of show you and explain to you why it dipped, and it's not because of marketing, it's because of like logistical issues and stuff. Okay, so like you've seen the title at this point, and so 57 days in 1 million. So like, I'm not kidding with you. So if I go to like the 27 day, right, that's $1 million right there. So $1 million in 57 days, and you can see like the slope, right, in terms of how much we scaled from like small $2,000 to $3,000 days all the way to like $40,000 days. Okay, so I just want to show you the stats behind it as well. Okay, so let me first explain to you why it went up all the way and then why it went down. Okay, so why it went up all the way is because like we're just scaling the ad spend and scaling the ads, right? So if you understand and know the metrics behind the business, right, you put in $1 in how much your ROAS is coming out, right, you definitely understand how fast you're going to scale. Okay, the reason why it dips down is because when you scale too fast, right, and then logistics cannot handle, right, that's where this comes in. So for example, right here, right, we're running ads on Facebook and Instagram, and so there is Facebook page score. What this is basically when people buy from your website, when people buy from your website on Facebook, right, and then they will issue basically a survey to your customers saying how was your customer service experience with this business right here, right? So in this case, like we were doing fine right here, 3.9 or whatever, and around 4.2 you can see, and May 6, right, on May 6 we're still trying to scale. On May 6, we are still trying to scale up the ad spend and stuff, but there is a bit of a delay. So once the logistics cannot keep up with the actual demand of the sales, right, then the sales just dip all the way. Okay, and when that happens, it also affects our ad spend as well as it affects the reach of the ads, so making our ads less profitable and decreasing the ROAS as a result. Okay, so you can see here that's why the sales are in a sense starting to slow down a bit, and that's kind of hurting our stuff, right? So the reason why is that is because, so let me show you like a bit of a macro perspective, right? Everyone starts from somewhere, and there's no such thing as a business who is like churning out these levels over time, right? So keep in mind you can grow very, very fast, and I think you'll be surprised with the numbers. Okay, so for example, this client that we worked with, right, we started working with them since October 2019, and in September they were just a $5,000 business, $5,000 a month business. So can you imagine the growth scale right here? So in September it was 5,000, right, and then the first month working with us, right, we scaled that up to 94,000. Okay, so you can see 94,000, and if you just give me one more day, right, you can see here, right, it's a $5,000 to $100,000 per month right here. So you can see, yeah. So like I want to give you another macro perspective where, okay, so like there's the lockdown situation happening and stuff like that. And so if when you look at it in the macro view, right, the reason why we were not able to scale at first, it's not because of our ads or whatever. It's because the stock was just stuck in some place in China, and they're unable to actually bring it out of China. And so like my client was like, okay, we can't just let this thing happen to the business, right? You can't just not sell and not try to scale just because there's this situation here. So in this sense, like we started scaling and decided to do so just because like, hey, the stock is either gonna come at a later date anyway, so might as well scale now, get the money first, get the cash first, and get the sales first, and then afterwards think about fulfillment later as well. Okay, so that's kind of the background about the entire business, and I hope this gives you an idea as well. Okay, so what happened between like the April and May? Okay, so I'm going to show you day by day the ad spend and the breakdown as well, so to give you a sensing of how fast we can scale. Okay, so I want to show you the backend first, which is the email marketing. So keep in mind, these are ads. We're going to paid traffic here. We're paying for our message to be in front of people, and so we can scale aggressively, and that's something you can control. The backend is email, and basically you can see here, right, for the month, like $800,000, 16% of that revenue is driven by email. So $131,000 in sales right there, and that's pure profit, right? Because you don't pay Facebook or Google a single cent to acquire these customers. So these are your most profitable customers, and yeah, basically the email list is very, very important to protect as well. Okay, so you can see here we set up a few very, very simple abandoned cart sequences, welcome series, that kind of thing in the Klaviyo email marketing software. And then we also sent a few really simple emails, basically based on the occasion and the holiday as well. Okay, so like I'm not an expert email marketer by any sense, but like you still can get these type of results if you set up your flows and automations correctly. And yeah, that's basically the backend of the email. All right, so this is okay. Let's go on what's it called, on a day by day basis. Okay, so for example, let me show you. So on April 13, right, it was like 2,000 in sales. So if I come in here, okay, so let me just refresh this for you so that you can see. Okay, so is it April 13? Yeah. So give me 1 second. So if I come in here and if I go to April 13 and I just update, right, on this day, you can see we started really, really slowly. Give me 1 second. Yes. Okay, can you see that? Yep. So we spent $469 today to get around 2K in sales. Okay. So for example, for the 5-day stretch, for example, the first $14,000 day, which is on April 19, right? So on April 19th, you can see here, for example, April 19th, from 460, we scaled up to 1.9. Okay, 1.9. So we're slowly and steadily rising, right? 18K day, April 24. So you can see April 24. Right, 2.5, right, and then let's go up a bit, 24K day, May 3rd, okay, May 3rd, that's 4K, right, and then it rises up all the way from like 6 to 8K, so all the way up, for example, at our peak, right, at $39,000 per day, right, keep in mind, once you scale up the ad spend, right, the ROAS will decrease, and that is a given because your messaging is not as targeted and the ROAS is not as good, right? But definitely, if you can keep profit into the business and keep your ads profitable, you are still going to run them nonetheless. Okay, so $39,000 day, and this is May 17. Okay, so for example, on May 17, how much did we spend on this day right here? Okay, so we spent around $7,000 to $8,000 right here. So you can see a very healthy 4+ ROAS and keeping the metrics very, very consistent as well. Okay, what we are trying to do every single time we increase the ad spend is to basically push out and duplicate the lookalike audiences. So you want to launch new lookalike audiences so that you can get into a bigger reach, okay, right? So for example, imagine I was in the perfume niche, right? And then there was like, okay, I can't think of something else. Okay, like fashion, right? Then you want to go into a different niche, such as perfumes, fragrances, right? So you basically tap onto a different audience and you expand the type of circle that you can advertise to. So for example, on the ad set level, right, you're targeting 3 million people, but in a sense, you're targeting another part of the 3 million people because Facebook only gives you a percentage of that 3 million people. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you. And so by expanding your reach, you're constantly finding new customers and leads into the business, and so you will never run out of people, right? So trying to be broad is better than ever, right? On the ad set level as well, we do more than 1 million in terms of the broad targeting, and so that allows us to scale our budgets, right? So if you can see here, right, our budgets will never dip below like what, $100 per day. You can see the campaigns that we're running, right? Anywhere is from more than $100 per day to like 1.75 K per day. So I won't say it's high, very, very high budgets, but it's like high budgets enough such that each campaign is pulling significant amount of reach to the significant amount of reach, yeah, to the campaign. Okay, so people want to talk about like CBO, whatever, CBO tactics and media buying and stuff. And so CBO, yes, we do use it, and if you can see right here, right, over this section right here, $200 to $300. Anywhere below that, right, I won't use a CBO, and the reason is because a CBO is distributed on the campaign level. So the budget Facebook optimizes, right, is to segment and then distribute it based on the campaign level into the ad sets, right? So if there's not enough data on the ad set level, then there's not enough at the top, right? So I would generally, for CBO, you go and do ad set budget optimization, ABO first, and then on the testing phase, and then you duplicate that into a CBO. And so on the CBO, you know exactly that's a winning ad set all the time. And so if there's any metrics that do fall below that KPI, then you understand you can cut and kill, okay? So hopefully that makes sense to you. And CBO try to run high budgets, right? Facebook is very good at optimizing now. So if you can push budget and data towards it, it will go and find the correct customers for you. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. All right, so apart from that, let's see what else I can tell you. Okay, so if you can see here, right, according to my columns and stuff, this is my personal favorite arrangement of what the metrics look like and stuff. So if you want, you can just pause this video right now and you just copy me and stuff. But basically, you can see link clicks. Everything is pushing towards to the bottom of the funnel. So everything to the right is like I can see it at one point of view of like, okay, increasing metrics to the purchase, right? So outbound CTR, ATC unique purchase, ATC checkout, initial checkout, and then website purchase, and then afterwards is the ROAS, right? So every time I come in and look at the ads, right, all I see is I scroll to the right and then I see ROAS, right? That's all I care about. Okay, I think people are too inundated with the data where they see too many things at one time and they can't make a decision based on that, right? Because all they see is too much data, and then they in a sense, it clouds the judgment as well. Okay, so another thing I want to kind of teach you is of how we media buy is like, you can see here, right, all our campaigns, obviously, okay, that's OXG, Tofu, OXG, Mofu, that kind of thing. It's segmented towards basically the temperature of the traffic. So the temperature of the traffic determines the campaign name, right? So this is very important because if there are so many campaigns running at one time, it's really difficult to see what's working and what's not, right? So if we optimize for one metric, for example, okay, I give a last 30-day spend, okay, can you see here that on the Tofu level, there is the top of the funnel, right? Top of the funnel means cold traffic, okay? And cold traffic, I can see is $53 per purchase, okay? Another thing is Tofu, then Bofu and Mofu. So can you see here, Mofu is warm traffic. Warm traffic is like page views, website visitors, Facebook, Instagram engagers, people who watch your video, as well as Bofu is your add to carts and initiate checkouts as well, okay? And probably a post-purchase upsells, okay? And if you can see, right, on the Mofu level, the cost per purchase is $25, and for the Bofu is 17.1, right? On Tofu is 45, right? So it makes 100% sense that cold traffic is more expensive than warm traffic, and warm traffic is more expensive than cold traffic, than hot traffic, right? So like this, right, you can really see from a perspective where it's very easy to optimize where, okay, if this Mofu, which is the warm traffic, is actually more expensive than the actual Tofu, then it makes no sense whatsoever, right? So stuff like that is like very little things, but it also cuts down your workflow when you try to media buy at the same time, okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you. Yeah, so in terms of like how to vertical scale and horizontal scale as well. So if you realize, right, our increasing scale is not really consistent, right? So you can see like $1,000 a day, $3,000 a day, $5,000 a day. It's not like we're plus 20% every 2 days or so. Okay, so it's this one, if it's how fast you want to scale and how fast you can scale, right? So for us, it's like if I see the metrics from the macro perspective over like a 3-day span, for example. Okay, so if I give it, okay, put it performance, for example, 19 to 22, okay? And then if I see the ROAS is extremely strong, okay, so I can see here, right, what 9.96 is what? Okay, so okay, so I'm just purely looking at the Tofu level, which is cold traffic, right? So cold traffic here is a 3, 2.85, 3.06, 3.1, right? Anything above 3 is like extremely strong already, because even though it reports on Facebook it's a 3, right? On Shopify and on your actual conversions is probably a 4. Okay, that's different ad accounts have different behaviors, so just keep that in mind. Okay, this one you gotta have to fill it out as the ad buyer, and so I can't really tell you for this specific one. Okay, that's kind of how I see the metrics, and then if that is very, very strong, right, you can just duplicate that. Just duplicate and increase the budget, right? Increase the budget and vertical scale as hard as possible. Okay. Even though you want a vertical scale, right, do you realize we have different campaigns running at different budgets as well? That's because you kind of want to spread out the risk of your load here, and you don't really want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? One campaign is driving the entire thing, right? So having multiple different assets on horizontal scale allows you to spread out the load so that your conversions, right, don't just die with one campaign. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay. Let's see another thing that I can kind of show you and tell you about. Okay. So another thing I want to tell you is if you're running cold traffic, right, you need and you can scale at this type of level, right? You can scale at like very, very fast. The reason why you can do this is because at the top of the funnel, which is cold traffic, it needs to be profitable already, right? So our KPI or minimum KPI, right, is that minimum it has to be a 2 times ROAS on cold traffic. And the reason why is that is because we can scale very hard, very fast, and we know for certainty that on warm traffic is going to be extremely profitable. Okay, so on cold traffic you get your, in a sense, get your shit sorted, and then on warm traffic you're just going to kill everybody in the game. Okay, so another thing that you can kind of use is as well as automated rules. So for example, in automated rules here, you can go into manage rules, and if you see this account particularly particularly previously we were using automated rules, but now we aren't. And the reason why is because it's very hard to manage that when Facebook doesn't work itself. Okay, so even though we're trying to turn it on the automated rules, sometimes it does not trigger, and it's very, very difficult to manage as well. However, if you do still want to try it out and it actually works on your account, right, you can you stop right here, and then you can go and see yourself. You can try different things, right? So for example, how we do is like if the ROAS is more than 2.5, you add the budget plus 20%. Increase the daily budget by plus okay, it's 30%. Okay, can you see here? Then if there are stop loss rules, for example, like if ROAS is less than 1.8, right, then you spend more than 40, so that is statistical significance to your data, right? Then you decrease, then you turn off your ad sets as well. Ad sets. This one is turn off ads as well, right? So there are multiple layers where you can stop loss and you can risk manage in a sense, so you are not spending as much as well. Okay, so hopefully this gives you an idea of the automated rules section, and yeah. Okay, so apart from that, let's see what else I can teach you. Okay, yes, so like I said before, every time you optimize for ROAS and stuff, always look at the most bottom of the funnel metric, right? So don't, there's a lot of data that's coming. You see cost per click, click-through rates, whatever. Okay, don't worry about that if there is purchase. If there's purchase, if there's lead come through, don't worry about the rest of the metrics. If the purchase ROAS, it looks good, it looks good. It doesn't matter what are the other metrics in the game, okay? So, yes, apart from that, I think I've covered pretty much everything. But okay, there's I guess one more thing that I should say is like even though you're running ads, right? All you look is data. Keep in mind you are selling to human beings, right? Human beings are behind the screen. If you see here, right, a bit insane our reach. Okay, from April alone to May. Okay, overall ROAS, by the way, I think it's like 4.6. It's 4.6. Okay, I think it's a bit more than that. Okay, so spend 220,000 over $1 million in sales, so over 4 times. Okay, four times. Okay, and then if you can see what's that called? Yes, cost per purchase. Yes. Or for in terms of the reach, right? It reached over 10 million people, which means that there are like 10 plus million people who have seen our ads but have not bought from us, right? So the warm traffic bucket is massive. When we want to do retargeting, we can do just push it through the moon basically as well. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yep. I think that's pretty much it about the ad side. Yes. The human being things. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yes. You're selling to human beings, and keep in mind, like, even though you're pushing ads and data, you keep seeing everything here, right? You are selling to people. People trust people, and you gotta optimize the funnel. Page speed optimization. Page speed optimization, plugins, increasing average order value, funnel optimization, everything from the creative, the video creative needs to be entertaining and engaging and stuff, and okay, let's see. Yes, copywriting as well. Copywriting is extremely important. Call out the target audience. Ensure that people know and understand your ad and stuff. Okay, so if you do not call out the target audience, you're basically wasting clicks at that point in time, because not everybody is a buyer as well. Okay, I prepared a very short PowerPoint here as well. So I'm going to show you the metrics behind the business so that you can see the entire thing. Okay, so what we actually did was, in terms of marketing channels, right, there's Facebook and Instagram, and then we also did some email marketing as well. So you saw the email marketing there. Okay, the entire funnel is like this. It's nothing secret, so I just want to share it with you. So you can see here, right, hopefully I zoom in a bit. Okay, can you see? With like product page, and then product page to the checkout and to the purchase. So very standard e-commerce funnel. Facebook and Instagram, the traffic source. Okay, there's push notifications as well as SMS list over here, and then there's email pop-up website. Okay, so there's a pop-up, and then like give a discount code, and then we'll send them a bunch of emails afterwards, and then ask them to buy on the product page afterwards. So send traffic back to the site. Okay, on the checkout part, there's abandoned cart checkout sequence, and then after here, there's introduce the new product, which is basically looping back to increase the lifetime value of the customer, so you can upsell them different things as well. Okay, and then yeah, that's basically pretty much it for the funnel. And as you can see, right, it's like once you understand how the entire macro thing and the perspective works, right, you understand what levers you can pull to really grow the business fast. Okay, let me show you the entire thing here as well. So just to prove to you, okay, revenue generated is 1.6 mil, and if you can see from the time we work with them. Okay, so give me 1 second. So from all the way from October, it's around 1.6 mil. Okay, and then on ad spend wise, okay, and then on ad spend wise, you can see, okay, 355k, yeah, 355k sales. Okay, so okay, it's a bit adjusted from here, right? So yeah. because I edited this slide just now as well. Okay, so then the product costs around 37%. So definitely should drop that down in the future if you want to pull more money out of the business. Software cost is 3K, net profit is around 670K, right? ROI is, in terms of ROAS, is 4.6, right? And the net margin is 41% as well. Okay, and then I think like we did our job well for in terms of like doing the marketing and stuff, but in the future as well, definitely want to try to reduce that product cost, right? So you can have more profit into the business, and because like you are basically moving volume, tons of volume already through your supplier, right? So you should have some sort of leverage to ask them to, hey, can we reduce product costs, as well as in the future, right? We want to introduce more email marketing, build out the flows even better, as well as do Google ads. Okay, so Google ads, like I think YouTube ads is a big blue ocean right now. There's a lot of traffic right there. There's very few advertisers that are there as well. So we're going to try to tackle that market as well. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this case study and stuff. And if you have really any questions, right, please do and put them down in the comment section below. I will try to genuinely answer any of them. Yeah, and please, I guess I'm just going to ask you now, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want and stuff. Okay. Yes, if you want to work with my agency, you can go to oxg-media.com/application/form. Okay, I'll put the website link below as well if you want to check it out. And yeah, okay, so that's basically pretty much it. I hope you really take this information with you, and so that you can really use it for yourself, because like I've spent a ton of time in Facebook ads and learning all this and stuff, and so I want to give it to you for free, so that you understand like what it takes to actually get to this level. And yeah, okay, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it for yourself, and yep, I'll see you in the next video. Yep, okay, see you soon.